Hi everybody, great DAmico here. Just getting set up and ready to go. Looks like I am live now. I'm trying to clean out a couple things here. Okay, so back at it. Good afternoon or extra good morning still for you guys and anybody out there in the AO community. And back at it here with a new coaching activity this month. And I usually print out the coaching sheet, so I'm going to have to do something different. My ink on my printer went out. I'm going to have to pull up my questions on my phone and read them off my phone. So as I get ready to do that, a little bit of an update since we're always adding new people to AO and want to give them a brief feel about who they're talking to. So again, I'm Greg DAmico. I have a software company called Efficience. Been doing that since 2004. I went to India in 2004, set up my own office over there, and I brought in a partner that knew software, and we grew a software business together. Previous to that, I had an investment firm. I started a mutual fund in '95, doing previous money management before that, and grew that mutual fund to wildly great successes. Rode the wave up in the '90s, but also then we rode it back down in 2000. Grew it up to like $1 billion in assets, and then watched it kind of fall off, and ended up selling off that firm for a lot less money than I could have received at the top of the market. But was an awesome ride and awesome adventure doing what we were doing in the investment space. And with that investment work, I saw the future being connectivity through software. And I thought, looking at the future vision of things, that having a software company would be able to do the things of providing connectivity and interaction with people and everything that we have seen manifest since then. So, with that, I guess I'll get into the questions. So, let's see. Here we go. First question is Ari Brown. Ari asks, how do you fire a client when your only basis is that they are difficult and not willing to change? Business description and background of question. CPA, I was hired just to clean up their QuickBooks, and they insisted on doing it themselves going forward after the cleanup, and they undid the entire cleanup, and it's like talking to a brick wall when you try to explain anything to them about QuickBooks or any accounting concepts. Mine and my bookkeeper's fear is that because she's local, she's just going to post something negative, a negative review, when she's the only one that, and she's the one that screwed up everything we did if we let them go and don't fix it again for free. So, Ari, what I would suggest on this is that clients can be difficult, and as I've said many times in previous coaching sessions, people are our biggest advantage and reward to business, and they are our biggest problems and issues that we find in business. So whether it's the clients we deal with, whether it's the people on our team, whether it's the people we outsource to and so forth, it's always about people. So these challenges come up regularly, and so what are the options? Well, in this situation, I would look at explaining to them that you get paid by the time that you work on things, and that you had spent the time to do the work that you were engaged to do. If you do this work again, where they went and made the changes to the system, and if that's their preference to go back to a way that they were doing before, that's fine. But if they want you to change it again, that's going to be more of your time, and you should charge for that. So that may tick them off, and they may leave. But at this point, there's only so much you can control. Another option is they come back to you is to send them an engagement letter of work with significantly high prices. And that way they will fire themselves. They will take themselves out of the equation and get rid of the problem with working with this type of difficult person. And you're always going to find people out there that are like this. Usually they're the minority, but we have to deal with them. And how do we best deal with them is to be as polite, respectful, and as understanding as you can make it from your perspective. Okay? Hope that helps, Ari. Next question. Next question is Gabor Racy. I hope I'm saying that right, Gabor. Question: what are some quick wins I can implement to increase our bottom line profitability, and how should I go about doing this in the long term? Business description and background of question. Throughout the past 2 years, I've been focused on growing top line revenue, and this year we're back on track to hit 1 million in sales. We've been profitable all the way, but I feel there's probably a lot of waste we could eliminate. Normally, I'm the sales guy, not the savings guy, so I'm not sure how to get started, as well as how to make constant awareness of our bottom line an integral part of how we do business. We currently have a full-time accountant who can get me any reports I need. Okay, so Gabor, very good aspect of thinking about your business, because this is key. As a business person, I have always had that inclination to think in this area. Like you said, you were a sales guy and think about more selling, and that's your strength, and that's great. And playing to that strength is very important. So, to switch your gears a little bit and to look at things like this, what I would do, first of all, well, there's two sides of this. This one is like increase profitability, you increase revenue, or you can you can do savings, right? You can reduce down your expenses and save more money and increase your profitability. So let me start with the expenses first, because I think that there's things that we all could be doing. I went through and did a review 6 months, a year ago. It's been that, and this probably should be done really like on an annual basis, is that I went through my credit cards and I looked for all the monthly deductions that were coming out automatically. And I went through my banking account to see if there was any automatic deductions there that I hadn't looked at in a while or hadn't paid attention to. And what I found was there was a lot of things that I could change or eliminate that wasn't needed anymore. And this happens all the time in business. We get started with something and we start paying for it and we forget about it, and we use it for a while and then we don't need it anymore, or we just don't get ingrained into the habit of using something that we thought we would, and we're paying for it. So I would be looking at those things and determining what you could eliminate and get rid of. And I myself, I save somewhere over 500, maybe close to 750 a month of things that I adjusted, pared down a little bit, or cut out completely. So there's a lot of different plans and things that we buy that you could get a smaller version of, or I mean a lower version of those that gives you more of the sampling of the services that you're actually using, as opposed to a full blown engagement with whatever maybe you're talking about. So this happens. This happens regularly. So check into that, dig into those things, see what you can eliminate. Look at your phone bill. Okay, cell phone bill is usually the big one now, but if you have landline too, there's always new technologies and things coming out that can reduce down. Creating a VoIP option for a landline, doing more of adjustments to your plans. Talk to your cell phone provider and see how you're using your phone, if there's a way to minimize some of that cost. Okay? So the other side of the equation is revenue. Okay? And surprisingly, if you look at your revenue model and how you charge fees, I've had so many coaches and business people out there tell me that a small increase of revenue or pricing for your services. When I'm saying revenue, it's a direct result of what you're charging for your services. So whatever your service may be, you would want to do a slight increase, 1%, 2%, 3%. And a lot of time, most of the time, that small increase in service additional cost, additional revenue increase result in a 5, 7, 8, 10% increase in your bottom line. And there's different softwares out that you can look to do that. But what you're finding is start doing some calculations. Have your accountant do these calculations and see if we increase services 1%. Remember, we got all these fixed costs in our business. We got a lot of fixed costs in our business. Our rent, our phone bills, our insurance bills, car stuff. All this thing is pretty steady no matter how much business you're doing. So when you increase the percentage of revenue, your variable may not increase that much, and with that, a lot of that money flows to the bottom line. Okay, that's huge and a significant. And I did it. I raised my prices a couple years ago, and I raised them actually like 10%, and I had like a 18% increase in the bottom line. So something to consider. Something else that you said here that makes me want to ask some questions around. You said you have a full-time accountant, okay, and that you were approaching $1 million business. Well, I have had my investment firm was at 6.5 million in revenue, and my software company has been as high as 3.5 million in revenue. And with that, I've never had a full-time accountant. So not sure what you're doing that you're needing a full-time accountant, but that would be something to ask yourself. Why am I not doing a consulting services for my accounting, for my payroll, for my invoicing, whatever that may be? There's so many good ones out there that you pay a nominal amount and they have all the expertise that allows your business to take advantage of that productivity that they can create for you. So consider that. And no offense to your accountant and that role, but thinking about that as a full-time position, and is that like a 40, 50, 60, $80,000 a year job? And if so, where's the value? It may be completely necessary. I don't know your circumstances, but I would just ask that question, and ask that question in more aspects of your business. Who are you hiring? Who do you have on your team? What do they do? And are they filling a role that is as productive as possible? Could there be changes made in those roles? Those are all important questions to try to create that world of efficiency and making things flow to the bottom line as best as possible, giving you more money to reinvest and grow your business. Next question. Nancy Lopez. Nancy asks the question, should I keep my 6-month emergency fund completely, or should I use some of it to invest in starting my business? Business description and background of question. I have no debt. Recently completed my 6-month emergency fund. Have $2,000 spare to invest in kicking off my jewelry business, for which I need to do so much. I can probably bootstrap, but not sure if I will quickly need more and therefore will need to use the emergency fund. Elevator pitch. I design and make jewelry that cherishes women's deepest emotions. Okay, so Nancy, in thinking about this, there's a lot here, right? There's a lot to think about, and I need a little bit more information to do the best, give you the best experience share that I can. So I would ask these questions. What is your current job? How secure is that job? What is it that you are doing for living? Are you paying rent? Are you living with somebody, parents maybe, or our spouse that's paying the rent? Do you have security in those areas that can help you to deal with the fact that if you don't have debt and you have a lot of security in your income, maybe you don't need 6 months, but the idea of having 6 months in cash is really good for emergency purposes. There's a lot of times in my life that even I did financial work for people, I did not have 6 months of savings, and I got by. If you got access to credit cards, and you said you have no debt, but if you have access to credit cards that you could use in emergency situations, that could allow you to free up a little bit of the money to put towards your business. Also, you can use the credit cards to help with the business. Using credit cards are very attractive if you have the discipline to use them. And I had credit card debt early in life, and there was a brief period where I had it again because of some downturns in my business. But for the most part, since like the early '90s, I have not had any credit card debt except for maybe 6 month period, and I hated it. I hate paying the interest rates on it, and so on and so forth. So when I had it, I managed it so that I would rotate the credit cards from one to another to get the free annual, no interest type deals and so forth. So I managed that as best I could. But if you have credit cards and they're open and there's no balances on them, or you use them monthly and you pay it off every month, which is what I do. I use my credit card a lot, but I don't carry a balance on it. I pay it off every month. And so you can use that, you can have that mindset that that card is there for your emergencies, that if you do get in a tight situation, you can utilize it. Um, so, of course, that's not not the best way to look at it, but it's always a possibility of how you can adjust. Now, how much do you need for your business? There's a way to get like an SBA loan to get your business funded and get it going with as much equity or as much capital as possible, so you can really kick this off and get it going. There's also ways to bring in some equity with people, have some family and friends invest in your business, so you don't need as much capital, or have to rely on much capital. But a big question to ask: are the working capital needs of your business? Okay, sound you say like 2,000 to get started. Not sure if that's going to cover it all. How much inventory do you have to have? How long can you pay people that are going to be doing work for you? Can you do it on a 30-day, 60-day, 90-day type payment schedule, and so forth? Or can you use your credit cards to give you a 30 to 60-day window to buy supplies for your business, make the jewelry, sell the jewelry, and get paid before those payments even come due? So a lot of different things you can do there, but please email me at Greg@Efficients, and anybody else who I'm talking to here, if you have additional questions, or you can answer some of these questions for me so I can better help you, please email me at greg@efficience.us. That's EFFICIENCE.us. Be happy to engage more and share other experiences that may be relevant with new information. So, next question is Jake Carlisle. Jake asks, how to overcome feeling overwhelmed? A business description and background question: real estate, flips, Airbnb, rentals. I'm a full-time student and I also manage my business as well as all of my personal investments. It's very stressful and sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough. Okay, so Jake, a lot of times in today's world, we get caught up with so much stimulation and new information coming in and new demands coming in that it's hard to process. And it's being attached to our phones, getting the new email, the new text messages, the new app updates, whatever it may be that's pushing on us and not allowing us to have a little bit of downtime so that we brain can kind of process all the activity and things that we got going on at the current point in time. So whatever it may be for you, whatever opportunity you may have to get away, okay, whether it's 5 minutes, it may be a lunch, it may be a walk, it may be something that allows you to get away and allow your brain to just process. One of the most important ways of getting away and allowing your brain to process is sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? And if you are, if you think you are, is it quality sleep? Okay. Do you drink a lot of caffeine? People say they can drink a cup of coffee and go to bed, and that may be fine, but that cup of coffee and that caffeine in your body is causing your heart to race and causing your body to process things at above normal level, which means that your sleep may not be as solid and as great as it can be. So sleep is huge. Having the ability to get away, take some deep breaths, and do what could be a basic meditation. And meditation can be looked at in all kinds of different ways, but really it's just breathing exercises, okay? Start out at breathing exercises and do something simple. Like when I first started doing so-called meditation, I would do like count in your breath to 6, or whatever the number may be. Maybe 4 for you, maybe 6, maybe 8, maybe 10. But count into a certain number, hold it for the same number, and exhale to the same number. Okay? And when you do that like 5 or 6 times. 5 or 6 cycles of breathing in, holding it, and letting it out to a certain number. And just keep that number consistent. You don't just count to yourself as you're breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You're doing that in your head, and then you're holding it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're exhaling it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then you do it again. There's a relief that comes over you when you do that. So, starting with maybe some breathing, going into some other aspects of getting away, and just when you sit down to have lunch, put your phone somewhere else. Just get away for a little bit and think about what you're doing, being in the moment, being in the present, and enjoying that food, and being there with your food is another way to just be able to allow the brain to do some processing and digesting. And that sleep at night allows you to clarify your mind. Your mind organizes some of all that stuff that you've got going on, and allow you to come back and make better decisions, not feel so stressed about those decisions, and so forth. So there is a little bit of stuff that you can do. Let me see if I had anything else that, like, riding a bike, yoga. Those are some other things that you can throw in there. Just anything, whatever it is that you do. Do you like lift weights? Do you like to do martial arts? Do you like to do some boxing? All those different things are going to give you some of that physical breathing and movement, and just getting away from the interactions of the people in the day will help the brain kind of chill and relax. So, hope that helped. Next question is Robin Turpin. Hi, Robin. I've gotten quite a few questions from you. Good to talk to you again. Questions that she asked: what tools do you use for staying positive? Thank you. Business description and background question: art for calm. I guess that's the name of her business. Elevator pitch is: as an artist, I help people feel moments of calm through my oil paintings of sunsets. So, really, Robin, I just answered your question with the previous question. It's that calmness can come in so many forms. It can be a beautiful sunset. It can be a beautiful sunrise. It could be a walk on the beach. It could be riding your bike. I just got one of the new electric bikes, like a Rad Power or something. Really, really awesome bike. So impressed. I'm probably not getting as much exercise as I did, because I'm always using the electric to give a little throttle and get me going, and not as much physical aspect, but just being outside, riding around in the beautiful weather, and seeing the world in a little different places, being in a car or walking, and it just gives you a different perspective. So there are things out there. Everybody's different. Everybody can have a different aspect. Okay, so some people can have their calm by sitting and watching their favorite TV show. Some people's calm may be sitting out on a balcony looking out at the intercoastal, like I have out here, that I sit out many times and I do my chill time. So there's a lot of things that can be done, but pick something that you feel resonates with you and is mostly a part of who you are, and that's what will bring the calm. And classical music, sitting and listening to whatever the music may be, some jazz music, something your rock music may be the calming. I grew up at a time period when Chicago was very big, and if I listened to like the best songs of Chicago, it just brings an overwhelming peace over me. So lots of different things that can be done. Hope that helped, Robin. Next question is Morgan Katz. Hi, Morgan. And Morgan asked, what strategies do you use to build your network? Business description and background question. I work with companies to help them maintain their season tickets to concert venues and sport teams, etc. I'm very active on LinkedIn and in-person networking events prior to COVID, but looking for new options to add in. I'm looking for ways to you use networking groups or associations to develop more relationships or get even more buy-in with large customers. Elevator pitch. We fill the gaps in corporate event ticketing. By helping companies manage their season and event tickets, we keep them compliant, provide trackable data while easing the process of season ticket management. Well, Morgan, interesting business. Love what you're doing. I'm sure you've had plenty of challenges given the whole shutdown of the world and sporting activities and tickets and so forth. I'm sure things must have been hard. So, all the best to you with keeping your business going and staying on top of things. Um, for networking, I have found that being out there is good, but being in an environment where you're not fully trying to, you're there for networking. Okay, the best places I find about having interactions are places that I am that don't. I'm not supposed to be networking, or I'm not there to. I'm there to do something else, and then networking takes place. For example, I'm part of EO, the Entrepreneurs Organization. I've been in EO since '99. It's a huge part of my life. The friends and the network of people I've met all over the world are huge. I interact with them regularly. I stay at people's houses around the world when I'm in different places, and I just have a huge aspect of the love of the people and the businesses and what's going on, the stimulating and thinking and so forth. People out trying to change the world that EO has brought to me. Now, in EO, you cannot solicit business. Okay, so I didn't join EO so I can go get more business. I joined EO because it's a peer group of entrepreneurs that are out there helping each other learn and grow. So, what was a byproduct of that? Byproduct was I've gotten a lot of business from EO people. Now, I can't ask for the business, but anytime you're having a conversation around business with somebody else, you get two business people together, they start talking, business is going to result. If I'm talking to them about something that they ask me what I do, I tell them software, we do mobile app, we do e-commerce, we do data integration, we help make your ERP system talk to other systems so you minimize a lot of headaches and a lot of double entry or interactions, say in efficiency creating. And when I tell them my story, they're like, I need to talk to you. Okay, so if they've opened up the door, they open up the door, we can exchange info and we can talk. So I would say that that part of a group that you could join would be valuable and important. Now, in that a group that you join where you go and give value too. Okay, so when I'm in EO, I'm sharing my experiences. I'm talking to others about things. I'm helping them, and in doing so, business may result. Okay, there's potential for business to result for me doing this time and effort of sharing my experiences of business and all that I've been through with you, with other people. It could happen. I'm not asking for it, and I'm not soliciting business, but sometimes business just happens. Okay, when you're in situations like that. So, what else can I share about that is uh, you said you're active on LinkedIn. How are you active? Are you posting? Are you putting videos out there? Are you sharing content about what you're doing and being an expert in your field? That's all great ways to interact with LinkedIn. There's also different marketing companies that you may have been approached by that are using LinkedIn to message and or put invite other people into your network and then follow up with messaging about what you do. That's more proactive and going after the person and more of a sales type of approach. But that's something that if you're not doing it, could be an option for you to build your network. At least just put the message out there. Hey, I'm I'm Greg and I'm want to talk to you about software. Okay, or whatever it may be, and I've used that to connect with people and talk to them about what what work that I'm doing. So the LinkedIn aspect is very attractive. I find it is something useful for me in my business, and I would assume it would be useful in your business, Morgan. So I would use that and maximize that as much as possible. There's also services on LinkedIn that will help escalate your post to high levels that would get a lot more attention. So there's Sales Navigator. Okay, when you said you're using LinkedIn, have you paid for Sales Navigator? I think it's like a $90, $89 or something a month. And it allows you to send out more messaging, direct messaging, auto message people so that when you connect with somebody, so many days later it follows up with a message, and then much time after that it follows up with another message. Okay? So look at that and look at the options that you can get from networking in regards to that. And being on a board, doing a charity, okay? When you network with by contributing your time and efforts and creating value for others, that puts out into the universe. When you give, you're opening up to being more receptive. Okay, you're getting that. You're vibrating out there. That your vibration antennas of when you give is opening up the door to receptivity, and that is the opportunity for you to attract more things to you. Okay, so let's see. Was there anything else I want to add to that? I think that's it. So good luck with that, Morgan. And again, email me if there's some other content or context you want to share with me that I can help you with. Be more specific about some of the things I talked about. So next question is from Joe Nugent. Joe is asking, what do you suggest as far as paying independent contractors who I contract to help me facilitate providing my services to my customers? Business description and background question. I own a home inspection business and I am turning away 5 to 8 inspections per week. I'm looking to partner with another inspection company, a solopreneur, who is not as busy so I can make more money while working less. How do I do the billing? Collect from client and then send to other inspection company. Have them collect and send me a check. Okay, so good question. Some different ways to approach this. Okay, one of the first ways is do you need to hire somebody or contract with like an individual that has experience here? But what you're talking about is using another company. All great options. So how should you go about it? Well, look at some of the models that are out there right now. You've got Uber, Airbnb, and so forth, where they've put all this environment in place, and they have allowed environment being software, being marketing, being other aspects, the billing and the payment of things, and they've put all that in place for the opportunity for an individual. Like if I want to go make some money, being a little independent and business minded, I can go out and I can set up an Uber account and they'll send me rides. And they'll send me rides. I get to keep. I don't remember the exact number. I've talked to different Uber drivers, but it's been a little while, so I think the number was like 33%, maybe less than that now. So, but look at that kind of model and think about it from your perspective and how you're doing it. Now, inspections is a little bit more labor intensive. There's more hands on, so you can make the adjustments there. I would see maybe a 75-25 split or an 80-20 split in a situation like this, where you're paying that inspector to go do the work, say 75-80%, and you're keeping 20 or 25%. Okay, and that's going to allow for you to get money that you wouldn't have received otherwise. And remember the old adage that 100% of zero is zero, or 100% of nothing is zero. Okay, but 20% of $1,000 is $200. So getting a percentage of that business that you wouldn't have got because that business is just gone, and the inspection is somebody does the inspection and needs it done near term, you can't get to it. You can bring people in, and so you're the marketing arm. You've built up the name, the reputation. Utilizing that to make more money is a huge opportunity for you, and I would be exploring it if I was in your shoes. So, is this somebody you need to hire to do this? Though, are you having enough business and feel consistent about it that you could hire somebody? And if you don't like that idea, which, I'm not a big fan of it, I'd rather outsource it to other people than finding that person, working with them, having them go in. You should already have in place your invoicing and payment system so that you would just invoice the clients like you normally do, get paid, and then pay that person when you get paid. And that's important on managing your cash flow, because you want to make sure your agreement's in place is that I'll pay you when I get paid from my client. And so that you're not advancing money and then have to string out somebody who's not paying you over a period of time. Let's see. Yes, I think I've covered everything there, and good luck with that, because definitely exciting that you're getting a lot more calls. I mean, how many people of us struggle? Most of businesses struggle trying to get new business, and you're getting more business than you can handle. So, great position to be in. Take advantage of it as much as possible, and all the best with that. So, Joe, that is the last question I have. So again, utilize AO all. Like I told you about my experience with EO, I work it to the max. I have a great network. I have a lot of people. We just did a forum retreat off an island called Usepa off of Fort Myers, and had a great interaction with my forum, learning and helping each other. And AO is all about the building up of a business and sharing with other business people and learning from the mentors and that you have access to about how to make business easier and faster, so you don't have as much of that learning curve that you're going to get if you don't reach out and get help from other people. So utilize it as much as possible. All the best, onward and upward with your business and your lives, and I will see you next month.